What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is 4:26 in the afternoon, and it is May 6th, 2024. And today I got to be the parent that everybody hates. What do I mean by that? Well, today I spent a fair amount of time trying to protect people's money because I knew that they didn't have the discipline to do it themselves. And I would like to show you that that is true information, and I know that because this is what our poll looks like today: 108 red to 86 green. This is very unusual for us as a community. I am one of those reds today, not by much, only a couple $100. I'll explain what I did and where my mistakes were. But it didn't take me long to realize that today was not a chart worth trading. Not only was the chart not worth trading, but contracts weren't moving much. Guys, it was a crap-tastic day to trade. Oh, but Jimmy, what about the move at the end of the day? I'm glad you waited 7 hours for the potential to play something that maybe you caught. What did we do instead? Well, I streamed Wolf on Wall Street for my paying members today so that they didn't have to focus on a chart that was going to cost them money. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the chart and our levels and all the things. This morning, the market gapped up and it was happy today. So puts were obviously going to be a counter trend trade unless we could start breaking some support levels to the downside. Your top 10 were very green at open. ADD was very green basically all day. Even though it was trending down, and Qs wouldn't come back down. So calls were the play. We did find a couple of put scenarios that paid, but the best trade of the day was calls. Okay, now this is going to be a very short video because it was right around 12. Well, it was 12 o'clock that we decided to call it a day. And as you could see, this is not good movement here. Our call scenario was a candle close above 513.67, as well as Qs needing to be above their first target high at 437.30. There was two criteria to the calls. Number one criteria was met actually on the Qs first. Qs closed above that at 9:35 in the morning. And SPY didn't close above it until 9:36. Now, we were looking for that move to continue up to the next line of resistance on the Qs, which happened at 9:38, and that's why this circle is here at 9:38. Now, SPY did continue to go up and reach its next line up there, so for anybody who did hold on and ignored the Qs resistance, you got rewarded with a full line-to-line move. I did not play that trade because I was reeling from this particular one, which was garbage. We talked about before open, the call scenario, the put scenario. We talked about the idea that if you're going to be aggressive on puts, do it as close to this blue line as possible so that if we close above it, you could stop out. We'd be hoping to get down to pre-market midline, just like it was doing in pre-market. Okay, so some of us, I got in a little early, which robbed me of profit. This was like a 6.5–7% winner because I got in at 9:31 and I got out at 9:32. But if you got in on the pullback to the blue line and got out down here, you probably got close to 15% return on that. The other caveat we talked about, because pre-market mid was holding as a strong support, was, hey, if you want to get into calls a little aggressively, make sure you buy on the blue line, pre-market midline. If we close below that, you stop out. Otherwise, we'd be looking for the move to hopefully make it back to our call line, just like it happened here. So we were just trading the channel that existed in pre-market. Now, if you're in calls down here, you got lucky if you didn't get out of the trade and Qs broke and we moved up. This was the best trade of the day. Why? Because you were trading with the trend. You were trading at a break of resistance with ADD was still kind of pushing up at the time. And, it was just a good trade. After that, we got up here. Qs were struggling to move higher. ADD was starting to trend down or struggle to move higher at this point as well. We talked about the same scenario here. If you're going to get into puts, get in as close to that yellow line as possible so that if we close above it, you know that you're going to be your stopping point. And we're hoping for the Qs or SPY to make it down to their next support, whichever is going to come first. Well, if you got in up here at 948, Qs were up there touching their lines of resistance up here. And then we talked about the Qs wanting to make it back down to this support here, 437.59. So you got in up here, you got out down here, or down here. But you could see Qs had no interest in moving down today. None. Guys, don't trade against the Qs, okay? They will drag SPY all over the place. The problem is today's movements were not quick. It was very slow. Premiums were not moving. It was not a day worth trading. All right, you will see no other arrows on this chart because there was nothing else worth trading, in my opinion. Now, for those of you who don't think that these lines work, let me remind you that all of these are drawn 30 minutes before. No, it's actually drawn at 8:30. You know, we got up to that line. We stayed along this first target high for a while. We pulled back to support, got through it, and then moved up to the next resistance. Came back, retested that resistance, old resistance as support, moved up, rejected, up, turned it into support, next line up, so on and so forth, all the way up to our futures line. And then if you stayed 7 hours to catch some of this particular run, if you played this run, good for you. I wanted nothing to do with it, but today was a lesson in trying to teach you guys how to quickly spot a chart not worth trading. Again, I showed you the poll numbers. They're not good. They're red. There's a reason for it. It's because the chart was not worth trading. And if you forced trades or stuck around all day or you got bored, I put the movie up to keep your mind off the charts, knowing that this was going to be a rough day. And it was. So I actually had a red day today. I took 2 trades myself. Both were puts, which was not wise, but this one was planned. The other one was planned. I was up with the ability to get out of this trade profitable, but I wanted to see it come down to at least this support here on Qs, on SPY rather, at 513.91. We never got there. So I stopped myself out of the trade for a loss. This one was a small win. This one was a loss. It left me minus 200 on the day. But that was it for me. I broke rules, so I wasn't going to take a third trade of the day. And quite honestly, again, I'll say it again, there was nothing worth trading. And that's pretty much it, guys. I got nothing else because there's nothing to talk about. For those of you who stuck around, I hope you enjoyed the movie. And if you ever want to do that again on a chart not worth trading, I'd be happy to do it. For the rest of you, I hope you made some money. And if you didn't, I hope you learned to walk away quickly after not seeing anything that was really good to trade. And that's pretty much it. So if you got any useful information out of this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to join our Discord community, we'd love to have you. There's a link down below. Join us. And that's pretty much it. So we don't have a whole lot of reports or anything that should be much of a catalyst for the market. Kind of a lot of Fed speakers. This week might be very similar to today. I hope not, but you know, keep an eye out, guys, and protect your capital. But that's it for now. Till tomorrow, I love you guys. See you.